Have you ever told someone to do something and they just didn't do it? Did that make you mad? Did it cost you money? Would you like to learn how to not have that happen as often? This behavioral dashboard measures how you approach paying attention to detail, and this one factor alone is worth your price of admission. So hang on. Here we go. In this session, you will learn how to use the attention to detail dashboard. It's a measure of your insistence, how you deal with systems, procedures, and detail. Are you organized and structured? Are you punctual and a take charge, best practices approach person? Or is your strength one of being very flexible, eager, and willing to try new ways of doing things? Are you very concerned with how others get things done, or do you just want things done well? If your insistence score is high, you are a very organized, precise, and almost always punctual human being. You like to get things done in an orderly manner. You love sequence, and you would prefer that most everything be done exactly right. Does this sound like you? You want and need detail, and you don't like leaving things to chance. It's always better to have a specific plan, and life is best when that plan is followed. And if your insistence score is very high, followed exactly to the letter. Your strength is that there is no ambiguity. People know exactly with great specificity what you want and how you would like things done. One of the potential on-the-job implications for you is that you may give people more information than they can process or use. When they ask you what time it is, you tell them how to build a watch. Start giving people information in smaller doses and check for feedback. Ask them occasionally, have I given you enough information? Would you like for me to tell you more? If your innovation score is high, you are a very flexible person, and you are pretty much of a hard-to-get-rattled individual when things don't go according to plan. You handle the unscheduled and the unplanned very easily, and you're usually quite good at it. And you enjoy finding out new ways to get things done. In fact, you really don't like doing the same thing over and over and over again. You prefer to think of plans as general guidelines and suggestions. You like to know what the end result expectation is, but you want to fill in the blanks on your own. Your strength is that you allow other people great latitude in getting their responsibilities accomplished. They can take a bus, a plane, a train, a car, a boat, or a horse. You don't really care, just as long as they end up when and where they're supposed to be. One of the potential on-the-job implications for you is that when you think you've been quite specific, some people will have heard you speak too generally. You also will do well to ask others if you have given them enough information. Do they want you to tell them more? If your score is more moderate and leaning toward insistence, you are usually quite organized and orderly in how you get things done, but you want and need a fair amount of discretion in how you get things done. What you are really saying to the world is, I'll be very organized, punctual, and dependable, but please don't tell me how to do it. Let me create my own detail. Most of your life you've thought the following: do they think I'm stupid? I could have figured that out myself. One of the potential on-the-job implications for you is that you may resist imposed detail and appear to be less cooperative than you really intend to be. Try listening more carefully to fully understand the information from others without giving the impression that you already know what they're about to say. If your score is more moderate but leaning toward innovation, you show good flexibility and an easygoingness most of the time, but you really do need clear and specific information and well-defined understandings of what you are expected to do. You may feel a lot of ambiguity in certain situations because other people may assume that you don't want a lot of detailed information. You may need, on occasion, to ask more directly, what in the world do you want me to do? One of the potential on-the-job implications for you is that you may appear to not want as much information as you actually do want and need. Ask specifically for more detail when you're not sure what was just said. Here's a tip that works for everyone, no matter which way they lean on this behavioral dashboard. When giving information out, having a meeting, assigning a project to someone else, or any situation where detailed instructions should be confirmed, try this. First say, I need your help. When we tell people that we need their help, most people want to give it. It's kind of built into our DNA. What you're really saying is that you need an agreement, a contract, and most people are willing to enter into that contract and offer their assistance. And this is so much better and more productive than what we usually do, which is to say, well, do you know what to do? Everyone always says yes, even if they don't have a clue, because people do not want to admit that they are less than what they think, you think they're supposed to be, especially if you just happen to be the boss. The assumed risk is just too high. The second thing you should say is, help me make sure that I've done my part right. What this does is imply that if there's some misunderstanding or lack of clarity, it's not their fault, it's yours. You are taking any accusation out of the equation and getting a better shot at gaining voluntary collaboration, because collaboration is always better than compliance any day of the week. Collaboration lasts. Compliance usually is very short-lived. The last thing you want to say is, tell me in your own words how you're going to go do what we just agreed to. That's the time to find out if they truly understood, if they really got it, and it's a much better time to catch misunderstandings than to learn that they really did not understand a month later when you're about to miss a deadline. Find out right away if they heard you say that you wanted them to go to Miami when you were really actually trying to tell them that you wanted them in Los Angeles. Try it. It works. Well, that's our final behavioral dashboard, and we genuinely hope that you've learned a lot about yourself as well as all the rest of us, and that it will help you do a better job of managing you while you work more collaboratively with all the rest of us. In the last session, we'll try to bring a little closure and specific conclusion to the entire series. We want this program to pay off for you and hope that you will come back as needed to learn even more. We genuinely appreciate your participation and your business, and I look forward to you joining me once more in the final wrap-up session.